Hey, Jenna, looking good here. I was reading your writing. I just want to mention now you're talking about the type size, point size, and it's a great idea to print this out. Um, in the post right before yours in the video and Natalie's response in my critique, I talk about the importance of printing out your work, and it's a great idea to do as a designer. Just make sure you set your printer to fast draft and make sure that you put it on black and white or grayscale so you don't suck up all your ink out of your cartridges. That way you can get a look at the spatial relationships between the type and the actual page size. It's great, great practice, great idea. I do it all the time, have been for years. So it's a really good practice. Try it. You'll chances are you're going to be surprised at the size of the type, how it looks in print as opposed to on screen. Okay, I want to talk about your poster. Let's go ahead. I think the front looks great. Really nice job. Nice job. That's a good idea right there, that color continuation for the tie. I think it was red before. That's smart, smart move. Everything looks great here on the front of the poster. Let's go ahead and jump to the back. Now, I think the back of the poster looks great. I really do. I'm not concerned at all. I want to just get this into the window. I'm not concerned at all about the type size or the layout itself. I don't think it's too cluttered either. I think you're all right. The timeline might be a little bit big. You might consider reducing the size of this whole configuration here a little bit. So what I'm going to do is let's go through the typography, then we'll talk about layout. So 1964 here, and all of your numbers. Think about old style numbers. Okay. I believe in your body copy, you actually have reduced your numbers. So your numbers look fine in the body copy. These don't look like old style, but they are definitely reduced. So good job. You're paying attention. That's fantastic. As far as, let's start with the timeline, 1964. You could consider either reducing that, or that would be great if you get old style in there. Same thing with the numbers on your timeline. January 15th, comma after period after January, comma after 15th. Try like heck not to allow single words on a line. If you can assemble this, it will be so much easier for the viewer to read it if we don't have these single words on lines. These are technically widows. So you don't want that. So you definitely don't want hyphens in this small area of text here. I would try to be consistent in your presentation as well. So for example, here you have January 15, 1921 on one line. Here you have it dropped down to two lines. So be consistent therein. Also be consistent with the typeface presentation. Right now, this type is much smaller, or not much smaller, but it is a couple of point sizes smaller. I have a dream should be capitalized and probably italicized as well. Oh, Martin Luther King Jr. Day authorized ads. That just ends right there. So that's kind of odd. That Memphis right there, that hyphen. See, as you can see, it's really difficult. There's two hyphens and three lines of text, and we don't want that. I wouldn't use hyphens at all in that small area of text for the timeline. Okay, also in the timeline right here, this seems like this right here. It seems like those lines converging are radiating from a central point. It seems like there's a little overlap there. It's difficult to tell, but love this idea here. That's very interesting. Okay, rags look pretty good, but you do need some adjustment here. So you don't want these kind of patterns here. Let's see that diagonal right here, or this kind of wavy pattern right there. And you can go ahead into the course announcements to take a look at that tutorial video on how to adjust your rags. I think that'll help quite a bit. Okay. Well, I tell you, I'm just not a fan of hyphens at all. But you've done a good job. I only see 3, 4, and 5 in this typeset, so you're pretty good. Okay, looking pretty good. You might consider opening up your tracking a little bit here. These letters are really, really close together. That points to tracking, not kerning, as we know, because we don't necessarily kern body copy as much as we track it. So you might want to open up your tracking. Again, over here, I have a dream. You could consider italicizing that. Other than that, I think you're looking really good. Oh, it just ends, by the way. got a lot of type. There's another area of type that just kind of ends abruptly. Federal holiday on, and then that's it. So definitely want to address that. Okay, so I think you're looking really good here. So my recommendation is just to work on that type, on your actual type setting itself, and then maybe reduce the size of that. Work on those numbers, work on those rags, work on consistency in presentation, and just tie up some loose ends. I think we're doing really well here. By the way, I think this is pretty cool that he's wearing the same kind of maroon tie and blue jacket in the image as he is on the front. That's good stuff right there. All right, Jenna, you're doing great. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to provide any necessary recommendations. Okay, very nice work. Thank you very much.